They're just letting you motherfuckers do anything you want. And yeah, hey, look at that. They put it right in the deck for you. As soon as you give him a second color or a third color, absolute potential by himself, he's just going bang, bang, bang. Why is this in the deck? So you can rob people. We're gonna do, like, we will focus in on cards that look particularly crazy, and then we're gonna do a lot of general vibe stuff as well. With that, let's go into the metrics. I have caps lock on because of how I am as a person. I think the things we should judge each of these precons on. A metric we've used before is, do they play Magic? Now, unfortunately, I don't think we should even bother talking about this one. I think the answer for all of them is holy yes. Literally just based off the one-off spoilers I've seen over the weekend and yesterday and today. Sets pushed as hell. As I said earlier in the stream, I think this is a generational event for power creep. I sincerely doubt that any of these precons are bad. I think there might be individual weak points in the precons. There's probably the same, like, here's 10 cards we put as obvious cuts so that you could feel like a very smart deck builder. But I have like zero expectation that these are going to be like the Aethergriff precons where they're just soft. These seem totally fucked up. We will still do the metric of, do they have 10-ish cards that are easy to cut so you can feel smart? For flavor wins, can I deduce the entire plot of the Final Fantasy game via 3 playtests of the deck? If I cannot do this, I will declare the precons as flavor fails. The next metric we should use, because I am not a Final Fantasy player, and this is a crossover event, do these decks make me want to play Final Fantasy? Do they have that shit on? I think that is very, very important. I think another important metric, because this is going to be Magic's biggest crossover event ever. Like, this is going to blow Lord of the Rings out of the water. I think both in terms of total sales and in terms of how many new players it gets into the game. So another thing we're going to do that we've done for precons before, but I think is even more important here, do they incentivize new players to play well? That's a very broad statement, but I do think that is a pretty important thing. Is the way the deck is built producing play patterns that are good for people where this is their first experience with the game? Is it teaching them to be stinky? Is it teaching them to be responsible? Is it teaching them that, like, removal and board wipes are cool? Is it teaching them that, like, you need to have card draw? Yada, 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 yada. So I think that will be the last mechanical based metric. And then there's the reprint quality, which I do not give a singular fuck about. I'm sure that there are many other people who can tell you a lot more about the financial implications of this set. The only thing I'm going to say about the finances of this set and of this precons, ridiculously overpriced. The Final Fantasy product I play with, I'm going to be using playtest copies with my friends at non-WPN and non-competitive events because I think these cards are cool, and I think it is at a completely unacceptable price point for anything we want to call an accessible hobby or anything that we want to market to children. I think it is fucked up and bad. So that is all I will say about the financial implications of this set. We do not care about what the reprints are. Do they incentivize people to keep playing the game? Right? Like, if you had the average experience with these decks, would you shuffle up again? Would you keep playing when the next set came out? Yada, 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 yada. So Y'shtola, 2/4 Vigilance. At the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. This immediately crazy good. It carrying every end step that anybody has lost life. I don't know how many cards this is going to draw over the course of a game, but even if you're not using any of the black lose life draw card engines, holy shit, the green player can punch cards out of other people for you. Very good. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. This also seems quite strong. If nothing else, like, it would be, I think anybody who attempts to do this by double triggering the bottom paragraph is wrong and bad. I think what the bottom paragraph is meant to do is the bottom paragraph is meant to get it very, very easy for you to just, like, chip somebody with a bird and then cast 1 3-mana spell and then you trigger life loss of 4. So let's look at the artifacts. Normal mana rock. Archaeomancer. Ooh, catch-up ramp. In my precon? Ooh. Oh, I like that. And it triggers the commander. I don't mind that one bit. Extort is wrong. Astrologians, Planisphere. I mean, Yishtala, for unrelated reasons. So Harval's asking, do she got that shit on? Yishtala, for unrelated reasons, I happen to know is 23. So immediate smash and immediate she has that shit on. No questions asked. All right, Astrologians Planisphere. This is one of the new job select cards. So on ETB, we make a 1/1. We put this on. Equipped creature is a wizard, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, and whenever you draw your third card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Every Anala player just fucking busted. I mean, this seems good. Getting a 1/1 counter onto a creature every time I ramp, even, that's quite fucking good. If this said instant or sorcery, I would be much lower on it. But yeah, this is super prowess. It gets forever prowess. Blue Mage is Kane. Job select. Equipped creature gets a BBL, is a wizard in addition to its other types, and on attack, exile one target instant or sorcery card from defending player's graveyard. If you do copy it, you may cast the copy by paying 3 rather than paying the mana cost. A little aspirational, but okay. Very cute for Precon games. Very, very cute for Precon games. My first thought was like, ooh, we get to make Mill a little bit better, but that involves being beaten with canes by the people you were playing Magic with. I think that's fine. It is on theme. Hey, they're definitely hitting the 10 cards that are easy to cut to make you feel smart. No. No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's awesome. Oh my god. Okay, so no. But do they encourage you to keep playing? Yes. For Y'shtola specifically, I can see what they're working with because you are encouraging everybody to swing out, which will draw you cards. That is most certainly not outweighed by the insane game state you create by passing a coveted jewel around. So I think that is deeply irresponsible to give to somebody who's never played Magic. I do think it fucking rocks. I do think that shit rocks. And so therefore, I'm okay with that. Dancer's Chakrams, a 4-mana job select. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 lifelink, and other commanders you control get +2/+2 and have lifelink. It's a performer in addition to its other types. That seems very fine. All of the job select artifacts feel a lot like, hey, these are cute. Go ahead and cut these though. Reaper's Scythe job select. At the beginning of your end step, put a soul counter on this equipment for each player who lost life this turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each soul counter on the equipment, and it's an assassin in addition to its other types. I am going to take shit back a little bit. I feel like this is one of the cards that is going to be a lot better in certain Y'shtola builds and is probably going to be underwhelming in the just like raw precon. But if you did Esper Aristocrats, or if you're doing anything in group slug or just anything in group burn, that immediately becomes like 4 soul counters every single turn, which is then immediately really fucking good. I think they probably did not build the Precon deck cleanly enough to do it. But yeah, in a lot of Rakdos and Esper decks, this will go fucked up stupid style. Relic of Legends, Sage's Newliths. Job select, equipped creature gets +1/+0, and whenever this creature attacks, untap target attacking creature and is a cleric and okay, that's fine. Maybe this set isn't power creep. Casting the Scythe does trigger Y'shtola's damage trigger, which is why it's in the precon. Like, this is just, I feel like it's going to be perpetually normal in a lot of times. A few games you will get very lucky and you will play this early, and then you will play like a 3-mana spell every turn, and then Reaper's Scythe will go crazy. But I feel like if you draw this turn 6 or turn 7, we just cycle it away. But then if you build the deck around, everybody is going to lose life on all of my turns, then it's fucked. Okay, normal mana rock shit. White Aura Sight. 4 mana rock. Somebody check on Josh Lee Kwai. Bro's probably having a heart attack. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this artifact leaves the battlefield. Ooh, okay. I kind of like that for play patterns specifically, because it teaches people, hey, you gotta remove stuff. Here is a way you can ramp while removing stuff. And it teaches other people, hey, removing mana rocks is good, because if you remove this mana rock, you can get your thing back. So I like that as a little, like, we are tricking the ramp dirtlers into removing things, and we are tricking people into running removal for mana rocks. And then we have creatures, Alice Levelier, 3/2 with first strike. That's holy shit. Dual cast. Second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. This looks good and solid. I don't know what Alpha Nod is, but there's like, let's just look at Alpha Nod. He's next. 2/4 with Vigilance. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. That seems good and solid. It is not helping Final Fantasy beat my growing belief that every single monocolor legend is just meant to be in the 99 of a different deck. Even with Partner, I don't think they beat those allegations. I think the two of them together are neat, but the two of them together are like, what if you dual casted to not really do anything? But if you had both of them with your commander, then it's like, wow, what if you dual casted to deal a bunch of damage and draw even more cards? Like, they're good Precon level gasoline for the commander. These are like the lamest cousins you have. This being a 3/2 with first strike, I think matters a lot for the Precon though. Like, the ability to, if you have them in opening hand, being able to swing her on the turn you play your commander gets you very, very close to 4. Like, if you could have one other creature, and first strikes, nobody wants to fucking block it. Okay, then normal fucking spellcaster shit. Ardbert, God, that name is unfortunate. Okay, so lore check before I even read this card. So far, I believe the entire plot of whatever Final Fantasy game the Y'shtola deck is dating simulator with French people. That's all I've got. What does he do? 3 mana 2/2. Whenever you cast a white spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain vigilance. And black spells are the same thing, but they get menace. Holy fuck. Ardbert a bitch. This definitely seems a bit lost in the context of this deck being like, I'm Esper life loss, but also legendary creatures, but also double spell casting. Yeah, and Orzhov spells trigger it both times. I feel like this is going to be a card like Reaper's Scythe, where in some playthroughs of this deck, I mean, how many? Hiccup tried to escape. Okay, like half of these, so many of these motherfuckers are legendary. So I feel like sometimes everyone's just like, this works. But what's actually going to happen is every Ratadrabic deck and every Dahada player is just going to vacuum this man into their deck. And I feel like you don't even play him as a commander. He's just an absolute fuckhouse in a bunch of other Orzhov or Mardu decks. Emek Selk of the 3rd seat. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. Whenever one or more opponents lose life, you may cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Do it only once each turn. That's evil. That's fucking evil. What? I think this man is again like immediately going in a different deck. So they've given you a few different archetypes you can build around that are all kind of competing with each other at the same time. Eschenin Varlanu, a 3/3 non-creature spell, super prowess. No, not more super prowess. At the beginning of your second main phase, you draw X, lose X, where X is the number of opponents who were dealt combat damage by Eschenin or a dragon this turn. Okay, good. We're also doing dragons, I guess. That's amazing. We're also doing dragons. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mango Money Moment, a new segment that exists only because YouTube has told us that if their automatic mid-roll placer doesn't believe that my video has enough dead air in it to constitute a transitional phase, they will not put monetized ads in the middle, which can really cut into the editor's leak budget. So we're going to have these moments where we just stop and stare for a little bit. Fandaniel, a 4/5 surveil 1 on instant or sorcery. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Okay, absolutely fucked up, amazing lieutenant of a totally different deck. We're on like 5 different directions this deck wants to sprint in so far. Then the backup commander, Grahatia, 2/3 with lifelink. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X is the spell's mana value. If you do, make a hero, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Do this only once each turn. That seems bad. I mean, it's Esper, so I'm sure that you can work it out. Like, no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you can just toss a fucking Kathar's Crusade into the deck, and that would work out. But hey, this man is staying the backup commander. Then we have Hermes. On non-creature spell, make a bird with flying and vigilance, and whenever you attack with one or more birds, scry 2. Pretty fucking solid. Hildebrand Manderville. Tokens get +1/+1. When he dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure. The adventure is a 3 mana, make 1 zombie. What? Shoot, somebody shoot this man. This is the straw that's breaking the camel's back. We're in too many different fucking things. We're not even on 2 decks in a trench coat. We're on like 15 small woodland creatures in a trench coat trying to look like a person. Back to dragons. My fault. Back to dragons. Okay, on ETB and on non-creature, target creature gets +1/+0 and unblockable. More closer to normal prowess, but still prowess isn't good enough anymore. We have to do super prowess in some way. Hypnotic Sprite. Ooh, counter target spell with mana value 3 or less. And then becomes a flying 2/1. Okay. Krill Baldesian, a 2/1 with lifelink. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may return target creature card with mana value equal to that spell's mana value from your graveyard to your hand. Do this only once each turn. So many people are gonna build such fucking bad decks around this card. Oh my god. Oh my fucking lord. So many people are gonna think they're good enough at math to make this work, and they're not going to be good enough at math, and this card is just going to flop embarrassingly. Okay, Lis Hexed. Prowess. Non-creature spells cost 1 less to cast. If you cast 2 or more non-creature spells, Lis has double strike. This is the first one I've seen where I could legitimately see you building around this commander instead of them just being in the 99 of something else. People will just do like pseudo Voltron because she gives herself double strike, gives herself a power buff. Papalimo Totolimo. A 1/2 on non-creature, 1 damage to each opponent, gain 1 life. That's fucked. Okay. 4 mana, tap, sack him. Each opponent who lost life this turn sacks their strongest creature. Okay, sure. That's probably quite good. We continue to not beat the allegations that they just kept giving. They were just like, I don't know, every named character's legendary. They gotta be legendary. We gave them a name. When you give them a name, it's like freeing Dobby. They gotta be legendary at that point. Because this is very useful inside the Esper shell, and wow, would this be dog ass by itself, I think. And then this effect is just rude as fuck. Ooh, who this? Summon Good King Mog the 12th. Flying 4/4, make 2 1/2 Moogle creature tokens. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, for 2 turns, make a token that's a copy of target non-saga token you control. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on each other Moogle you control. I don't mind that. Yeah, get mogged on has never been so back. That seems like a good, very transparent on-board payoff of, hey, make some Moogles, hey, make a ton more Moogles, hey, Moogles get big, now you have a big board of lifelinkers, and then they kill their king, I guess. Tataru Taru, a 0/3 on ETB, you draw a card, target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it's not their turn, make a tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. I see we have learned from Hullbreacher and we have learned from Wheels. Okay, that's probably good. It would be, I mean, this would be fucking awful. It would be immediate jail if we were allowed to do this unlimited times a turn. I feel like tapped is gonna hurt it a lot, but does that become CEDH playable in certain decks just because all of CEDH is about opponents drawing cards? I like the twinned nah and all caps yup within like 2 seconds of each other. Like, this is actually, because this just reads to me profit off of opponent's Rhystic Study. If it isn't their turn, this only cares about Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study, and Crom. Okay, so it covers 99% of the format. Good to know. Tremendous. It only covers 99% of the things that get played in CEDH. Alright, next we have Thancred Waters. A 3/5 with flash for 5 mana. On ETB, another target legendary permanent gains indestructible for as long as you control Thancred. Okay, so that's just a sentence that says, hey, never play this guy as your commander. Please play him in the 99 of somebody else that you love. Please and thank you. On a non-creature spell, Thancred Waters gains indestructible until end of turn. Okay, so he is like prowess backup guy. Torrential Gearhulk, and then Urianger Augureelf. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you gain 2 life. Tap, look at the top card of your library, you may exile it face down, or tap, till end of turn you can play cards exiled with Urianger. Spells you cast this way cost 2 less to cast. It's very nice of them to print a Jeskai card in the Esper Precon. That's very sweet of them. This guy, hey, we found another one of the 10 that you should cut to feel good. This guy probably cooks in a Jeskai Storm deck, or even Azorius can do some play from exile, but they were like, well, we don't have Jeskai as one of the commanders, so we should put all of the Jeskai cards inside the Esper deck and sneak them in that way. Then enchantments, we have Don't Care, an X mana enchantment. On ETB, make that many heroes. When you attack with 4 or more creatures, scry 2, draw a card. When you attack with 8 or more creatures, those creatures get +4/+4 until end of turn. Okay, I hate it, but I don't think I can debate it. Real, I think, generally costed well enough. That full party shit makes me angry as fuck, but at least it will motivate the token players to end a game. Eye of Nidhogg. Enchant Creature. Enchant Creature is a black dragon with base power and toughness 4/2, has flying and death touch, and is goaded. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to hand. That fucking cooks. Hello? Your thing is a goaded flying death toucher, and I get this back if you ever kill the thing it's on. That's fucked up. I think it's better than Ghoulish Impetus. Not even low key. Death touch is super fucked up. Not only goaded, but it's probably connecting or it's taking something with it. But I really think shrinking toughness is so good for being able to replay this over and over. A lot more people than you might otherwise think are really going to want this fucking card. Then we have Observed Stasis. Flash, enchant something an opponent controls. On ETB, remove it from combat, then draw a card for each tapped creature its opponent controls. Loses all abilities, can't attack or block. That's hot. That is very expensive for how hot it is. This seems like, hey, in the Esper Precon, we put in one card specifically designed to fuck up the Voltron Precon. Rude as hell. Then Propaganda, that seems normal in this deck. Okay, we have a decent amount of instants. We have a little bit of removal, very Precon levels of removal. Transpose, draw a card, discard a card, lose 1 life. If cast from hand, make a 0/1 wizard with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh, we're just making token Gutter Snipes right now? We're giving black obviously Gutter Snipes 2, this is 1, but Gutter Snipes also instant or sorcery, right? Gutter Snipes not just non-creature in general. Yeah, Gutter Snipes fucking fired. Grixis Spellslinger? This man is out of a fucking job. What's the next? Circle of Power. Oh no. A second Gutter Snipe has hit the Precon. Draw 2, lose 2. Wizards get +1/+0 and lifelink. You know what? I actually hope that everybody who gets into the game off of these Precons doesn't stay. Because based on this Precon, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to play the Y'shtola Precon and go, oh my god, I know what would go great with all of these wizard cards. I'll do a wizards deck. And then we're going to have to bring him before the Hague. And we're going to have to kill him. Okay, board wipe, group draw, potential finisher, board wipe, farewell, but you're not allowed to get mad is fucking awesome. Lingering Souls. Okay, very Precon card. Fuck yeah. Siphon Mind, everybody discards, you draw a card. Definitely seems overall reasonable. Let's see how it looks. So our opening hand, we have a board wipe. We have the shittiest mana fixing in the history of the world. But we do have Thancred Waters and Rite of Replication. I'm going to try to let it rock. We get, what do we get first? We get an island first. Turn 2, we cycle this for a plains. Turn 3, we demo field. We are Chaomancer's map. We get 2 more plains. We still don't have black. Oh god, oh fuck. So we get both of these to hand. Oh hell yeah, we have Sublime Epiphany. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Cute little job select card is dying for hand size right here. And then there's a Bant deck and a Naya deck. I get to put these onto the field. Fuck you all. There's a Bant deck, there's a Naya deck. I get to put these on the field. And then, holy shit, we hit a black land off the top. So we get to commander on curve off a relatively rough hand. And really, even if we didn't put these planes in, like this could still be in our hand and we still get to drop our commander on curve. We pass, at least one person will lose 4 or more life. It's probably us. We probably get the shit beaten out of us. On our next turn, we can drop this guy. We have 6 mana. We can hold up Sublime Epiphany. God, this hurts. But I think that's what we do. No, because we can't even token copy Y'shtola. This is just like so... This is just so wasteful. Okay, we Sublime Epiphany. We ping everybody. We shit our pants because it's the worst Sublime Epiphany in the history of the card game. Good. We play a tapped land. I play Reaper's Scythe. I ping everybody for 2. So Reaper's Scythe is getting 3 counters on it just on the turn it gets played. Don't hate that. And then I have a 7 mana spell. I can cost reduce. No, it's an 8 mana spell. Can't hold up my mana to do anything, so I will just play Talisman of Dominance. Somebody loses 4 or more life over the course of the next turn. I play Black Gutter Snipe off of Transpose. I hit everybody for 2. I get to draw a card, and then I discard a card. Get the fuck out of here. Get back in your Jeskai deck. So now this is exiled. We spent 3 mana on this. I'm going to exile all 5 of these to dig through time. Now everybody's getting hit for 4. 5, including the wizard ping. And I get to look at the top 7 and put 2 in hand. Emeritus, Thought Vessel, dog shit, dog shit, dog shit, except I have so much mana that I can dump into that. And then probably like, hey, don't hit me back. I get to draw a card on my turn. I probably draw a card on somebody else's turn. And then I draw a discard. I don't get an extra Gutter Snipe. Fuck off. Fuck off. And I go Isolated Chapel. I have 8 lands and I have 9 mana from the rock. This is at like 80 billion counters. The responsible thing to do is probably like White Auracite, Propaganda, ping everybody, draw card. But I feel like you could just as easily go, okay, X equals 7. I hope nobody can board wipe me. And then I try to swing with a bunch of 5/5s. Like, I think for how bad of an opening hand we kept, this has played surprisingly well. We've drawn a large number of cards. We've been able to gain a little bit of life. We've been sitting on a board wipe the whole time. So if the game hadn't been going our way, instead of casting our commander, we could have just waited, pretended that we were bricking, and then board wiped everybody. We could have protected our commander. We could have made chump blockers. We could have just copied somebody else's good stuff. Sudsball, thank you for the tracking. We've dealt 20 damage to everybody so far off of commander triggers and the black mage triggers. And it's like turn 7, we've been doing extra land drops, and we have a full hand because of how good Y'shtola's trigger is. So this is like, as far as precons go, this is pretty goddamn honking. Let's talk about this little dipshit. So what's going on with Cloud? 4/4 with haste on ETB, attach an equipment to it. Good. When he attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature, then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, make 2 treasures. They just letting you motherfuckers do anything. They're just letting you motherfuckers do anything you want. And yeah, hey, look at that. They put it right in the deck for you. I think this deck is legitimately bad for new players because I think this is like, you play this deck and you go, oh my god, this deck is so cool. I can play a 14/14 Cloud on turn 4 without any context for why people are going to shoot you every time you play Cloud. So we don't have to pay equipment. Fuck Pure Steel Paladin, bro. Fuck having support cards. What if your commander just did everything? Fuck having card draw. Fuck having ramp. What if your commander made mana, drew you cards, and cheated your costs for you? So a bunch of good equipments. What's this do? On attack, tap target creature defending player controls. If it had more power than this creature, put that many 1/1 counters. Ugh. Yeah, that's probably fine. What could go wrong there? What could happen if you were allowed to not only tap down my defenders, but you could tap down my only good creature and then make yourself stronger than it? A million other like normal Naya Voltron-y things. Fucked up to put that in the deck where the commander's generating treasures. Okay, you can look at the top card of your artifact at any time. If it's equipped to a creature, you can cast creatures from top of library. Okay, so green has got reality chip, except their reality chip gives +2/+2 vigilance and makes it a mana dork. Perfect. No fucking notes. Exactly correct amount of love being shown to green versus blue. Normal stuff. What's Wrecking Ball arm? Equipped creature has base power and toughness 7/7 and can't be blocked by little creatures. Fuck them for this shit. Cause they printed this shit at 2 mana. I don't give a fuck what the equip cost is. They printed it for 2 mana in a deck that says I equip whenever I goddamn want to. Whenever I fucking feel like it, I'm gonna equip this fucking thing. Equip 7? No, equip 0. I know I said we weren't going to talk finances, but I do want to at least touch on, because that's the end of the artifacts. Let's at least touch on the incredible fucking scammery it is that the Cloud deck appears to not have Buster Sword in it. Like, I'm sure we'll figure out what Buster Sword does at a different time, but if I were to play a game, if this were the title art for a Final Fantasy game, and I purchased the game, and they said the Buster Sword, the sword you see in the title screen, that's DLC, I would freak the fuck out. That is stupid. That is a stupid fucking thing. Who cares that they give you the Colossus Hammer straight in the deck? They don't give me the goddamn Cloud weapon for the goddamn Cloud deck. Oh yeah, sure, this is Buster Sword. Sure. Hero's Blade has Buster Sword art in the Precon. We gotta have higher standards than that. We gotta have higher fucking standards than that. Oh, but this shitty equipment that already existed looks like Buster Sword. Anyway, we have Aerith, a 4-mana 3/5 with lifelink. On end step, if you gained life this turn, return a creature from grave to hand. If you gain 7 or more life, return that card to the battlefield instead. Awesome. Fucking hate it. Moving on. Avalanche. Asterisk 3 Menace. Power equal to artifacts opponents control. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact they control, Avalanche deals 1 damage to that player. Okay, we are 100% not escaping the mono colors are just made to be 99ers allegations, but that seems fine. There's a lot of decks that would enjoy something like that, especially like Jund Treasure Group Slug or like Gruul, you know, any of the red plus group slug things. 4 mana 4/4 with reach. On equipment ETB, make a token, and on combat, attach equipment so everything gets 4 Mirrodin. Okay, I think that guy could be a commander. That's a like playable commander that maybe doesn't have to be shot on sight every game, because he's not gonna Voltron himself for, oh no, he's a rebel, never mind. They're just gonna do fucking, they're just gonna equip it to him. Threaten lethal on turn 5 and force everybody to shoot him in the head. Okay, relatively normal stuff. Bugenhagen. This is my favorite commander, Baba Booey. Mana dork, on upkeep, if control a creature with power 7 or greater, draw a card. Okay, Taco Bell design. I'm not a fan of it, but it's also just very normal. Hey, here's some ground beef, and here's some cheese, and here's some lettuce, please clap. Kate Sith, Fortune Teller. 3/3 with lucky slots. At the beginning of combat, scry 1, exile the top card of your library. You can play it this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. Sure, that's cute. I've heard from my patrons that this is a extremely thematic ability, that the cat does do like gambling slots in the game. I will tell you all what I told him. Very supremely underwhelming commander. Very, very fine value engine in other decks. Oh, we skipped the second Barrett. Whenever Barrett Wallace attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. That is so fucking cute. Anybody who thinks they're about to get something done with this deck, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I believe in you. I will redirect your attention to Colossus Hammer. I ping you for 1, and then I hit you for 30 million. Okay, then we have Sid, Free Flyer Pilot. Cost reduces equipments and vehicles. During your turn, they have flying. Oh, and then equipment recursion. So this is one of the cards. See, this is one of the cards where almost certainly should not be a commander. Seems extremely irresponsible to not put this guy in most equipment decks you play. It is a potential Voltron target. It is a cost reducer for your Voltron pieces, and it recurs your Voltron pieces. And he's only 2 mana. Like, I can't think of any equipment 99 that doesn't want to do this. Elena, Turk Recruit. When Elena enters, return a non-assassin historic card from graveyard to hand. Oh, and on historic spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Elena. This might be the first monocolor commander that breaks out of 99 jail. That's heavy game right there. Because it's ETB trigger, and we're in mono white, so crazy flicker shenanigans are on the table, and historic spells are very easy to cast. Like, she probably goes harder in the 99 of a lot of things. The flicker plan does conflict with the 1/1 counters plan. Heidegger, Shinra Executive, 3/3, beginning of combat, target creature gets +X/+0, X is soldiers. At the beginning of your end step, make soldier tokens equal to the number of opponents who control more creatures than you. Yeah, welcome to the 99, buddy. Glad to have you. All right, Helitrooper. On attack, something else gains flying. Stuff costs less to equip to him. Sure, you play this man as you curve out into cloud and then you make the flying Colossus Hammer guy. Whatever, dog. Okay. Professor Hojo. The first activated ability you activate during your turn that targets a creature you control costs 2 less. Whenever one or more creatures you control become the target of an activated ability, draw a card. This triggers only once each turn. Here we go a fucking again, man. So this is another, like, 1, why the fuck would you ever make this man a commander? And 2, if you are playing any type of equipment deck, why the fuck would this guy ever not be here? Like, win at win. Like, what fucking strategy that cares about equipping things would be like, I'll skip Professor Hojo. I don't need the entire sword cycle to be free. I don't need equipping them to draw me a card every turn. This might be the set with like the highest incidence of constantly taping. This only happens once a turn. You cannot combo. Sit down, stop drooling. They did that fucking every fucking other card in this set. Red 13, Proud Warrior, 3/3, Vigilance, Trample. Other modified creatures you control have Vigilance and Trample. On ETB, recur an aura or equipment from your graveyard to your hand. Sure, dog. Sure, man. I don't even... Just kill me turn 5. Who even cares? Okay, Sephiroth. Cool boy. 5 mana, 7/5. On attack, you can put a cell counter on a creature until end of turn. Each modified creature you control has base power and toughness 7/5. For 3 mana and sacking a modified creature, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. Fucked up and good. I don't think broken. When I say fucked up and good, I just think that's like... It is very nice for Boros to have a way to recur their commander after it gets blown the fuck out. Summon Kujata, 3 damage to 2 creatures, then 3 target creatures can't block, then discard, draw 2. When you discard a card this way, deal damage equal to that card's mana value to each opponent. I don't know what the fuck it's doing in the equipment deck. I mean, I guess unblockability. Sure, Big Ox, I'm sure this is viable. Tifa, 4 mana, 4/4 with melee. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deal combat damage to a player, untap all creatures you control. If it's the first combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. I think it's much more solid. It's much more solid as an extra combats thing than any of the stuff where you just get infinite. It's much less exhausting than them just doing like aggravated assault with Savage Ventmaw. But it just seems so like... I guess what makes me tired is everything about this deck. There's a few things that kind of play to a resilient, grindy play pattern. But this card and like most of the cards that I have seen just go into the play pattern of like, I'm going to get it and you're all going to die, or I'm going to not get it and then I'm fucking cooked. I understand that as how Naya players like to do. I don't understand you guys, but I do think this is a cool tool for you all. Then we have Vincent. He looks cool as shit. 3/3 with Menace. Whenever you deal combat damage to a player with one or more creatures, put a counter on him. Whenever he deals combat damage, it deals that much damage to each other opponent if power 7 or greater. Okay, that's neat. Then we have Yuffie, Materia Hunter, a 3/3. Oh, red ninjutsu. Okay. On ETB, gain control of non-creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie. Then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. That free equipment attach is going to be fucked up and evil, but I do support stealing soul rings. Another Terminal 99. Then we have Zac Fair, ETBs with a 1/1 counter on it. For 1 mana, oh, it's a fucking 0/1. Oh my god. For 1 mana and sacking him, a creature you control gets indestructible until end of turn. Put Zac's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zac Fair to that creature. I'm sure this is an incredible flavor hit. If this man is ever your commander, something has gone tremendously wrong. Yeah, it's a 1/2 1-drop, and then he just kills himself to save somebody else. Like it's more of like you just, why would you ever make him your commander instead of hoping you play him while curving out? He's great in the 99. He's just a bad build around. He's very, very good if you have Cloud or a main character that you want to protect. Then he's just like the side character. Soldier military program. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose 1. If you control a commander, you may choose both instead. Okay. I don't know if that's the very first instance of us getting, if control commander, get both on non-instants and sorceries. But it makes sense that we've eventually moved into that. We get to make a 1/1 or put a counter on 2 soldiers. That seems pretty fucking reasonable for like generic soldier boosting in general. Cloud's limit break. Oh, tiered. So this is kind of like kicker, but they're setting very, very limited amounts of kicker you can do. So for 2 mana, you can blow up a tapped creature. For 3 mana, you can destroy 1 tapped creature per player. And for 5 mana, you can do a tapped board wipe. All right. Then we have Lifestream's Blessing, a 6 mana instant. Draw X. X is the greatest power among creatures you controlled as you cast this spell. If it was cast from exile, gain twice X life. You can foretell it for cheaper. Is going to trick so many Naya players. I think this is less win more than some other spells I have seen, because the wording leads me to believe if somebody killed Cloud in response to you casting this, you still get all the cards. So that's actually a lot better. Okay, then we have Ultimate Magic Holy. For 3 mana, permanents you control get indestructible. If you foretold it, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn. Fair enough. Then sorceries, we get Ultimate Magic Meteor. 7 damage to each creature. If foretold, for each opponent, choose an artifact or land they control and blow them up. Hell yeah. Fuck mana. This unfortunately looks like it cooks. I mean, Cloud, I think it's kind of in the same place as the Y'shtola deck, where it cooks just because Cloud is so good. However, unlike the Y'shtola deck, this one's much less confused about what it wants to do. All this deck wants to do is I hand Cloud a hammer and I hit you in the head very, very hard. We will play our tap land turn 1. We will play fucking Nature's Lore probably. Who gives a shit about Zac Fair? I'm Nature's Loring this just to make you all no, I'm gonna Nature's Lore a mountain to make you all even more upset. I Nature's Lore a mountain. I tap it for Zac Fair. I Sword of the Animist, I equip Sword of the Animist, I swing Zac Fair with Sword of the Animist, and I get Command Tower. Turn 4, I play Cloud, swap Sword to Cloud, woof, and then we get sad. And then we swing this, we get to draw a card, we don't get to make treasures, but we do get to tutor Ash Barrens to field off a Sword of the Animist. Secret Rendezvous? We don't fucking hit any other good equipments. We don't have enough soldiers. Or no, we have, okay, never mind, we have 2 soldiers. He's a 3rd one. Yeah, we'll play this guy. Now Cloud will be big. We go to combat, we get to draw a card. We definitely make 2 treasure tokens. We still have no trample or evasion or anything, but we have dispatch if we want to interact. Good. We have a creature board wipe. I'll say we make at least 1 soldier token. This is now a soldier token. We make at least 1/1/1. We don't want to fucking cast this. We play this. We play Sid because he's a fucking creature. We have mana. I'll foretell this in case I need it later. Cloud gets big. We draw. We make more treasures. Main phase 2. We play this shit. Oh, hell yeah. Harmonize. It's here to save us. You know it. You love it. It's 4 mana, draw 3 and green. We tap this bullshit. You know him, you love him. I drop fucking Bugenhagen and Mask of Memory. Alright, Cloud has Mask of Memory now. We swing. He gets flying because Sid attacked. He's big. I draw a card. I make 2 treasures. I get to draw 2, discard 1. Holy shit, we actually got a playable equipment. That sucks. Now, for a Precon deck, this is playing Magic. Barely. Like, stuff is happening. However, in a Voltron deck, we have been unable to make our commander indestructible. We have been only able to make our commander evasive by the raw power of a shitty 2/2. We have drawn a fair number of cards, and all of the cards we have drawn suck. That holy fuck yes is going to become probably yes. Do they have 10 cards you can cut? Holy fuck yes. What do I think the plot of that Final Fantasy game is? My understanding of whatever Final Fantasy game that is, based off the cards I saw, is a variety of young women watch Cloud pick up different weapons of violence before Sephiroth is cooler than him. How close am I? And Zack Fair dies. So we will say absolutely. I do not want to play that Final Fantasy game. Do they have that shit on? Yes, some of the arts are goofy, but they do look pretty good. They absolutely, this again, they do not encourage you to play well. They do encourage you to keep playing. I think if you, God, this deck looks like it is giving criminal amounts of dopamine to gambling addicts. Like, you probably just keep shuffling this deck up again for the fucking chance that you get the Colossus Hammer open. Revival Trance. So Terra is 3 mana. At the beginning of combat, mill 2, Terra gets flying. On combat damage, pay 2 to bring something with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's pretty good. As a, don't gas out. I want to be able to recur stuff. That seems pretty decent. Okay, Espers to Magicite. This looks new. 4 mana. Exile everybody's graveyard. When you do, choose up to 1 target creature exiled this way. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an artifact and it loses all other card types. That's fucked up. Graveyard hate, because nobody gets to play with the graveyard but me. I get to steal your good utility creature, but I don't just get to cheat out a big stompy shithead. Yeah, it stops being a creature. It's not limited to just ETBs, because you can also do shit. Again, my first thought is always, how do I cheat Valgavoth into play? Imagine getting this guy as an artifact. So there's a lot of good ETBs you can steal, but there's also a ton of just somebody's threat gets killed, and then you just get a good static effect back. All right, Laughing Mad, 3 mana, discard a card, but draw 2, and it has flashback. Good and normal. I do think this is another card that just goes in nearly every bracket 2 deck with black, if you're responsible. I don't think this is one of the cards where everybody plays this because it's the best thing their archetype can do, but this seems like one of the most, you are a fool if you do not play this card. Like, you are a straight up fool if this is not in your interaction suite in black for most games. Terrible, terrible mana base we will not be looking at. Okay, shorty bad. Anger seems normal. Fucked up and hateful, okay. Bannon, the Return as Leader, 2 mana, 1/3. Once during each turn, you may cast a creature spell from cards in your graveyard that were put there, that were fucking milled or discarded this turn. Whenever you attack, you may pay 1 and discard a card to draw a card. Okay, that seems decent. And when I say decent, I'm like, oh my god, Boros is playing good Magic. Then we have Sela's Rune Knight, which the CEDH players have already gotten to this one, so I have unfortunately been exposed to this many times. On ETB, wheel as much as you want. And then the second half of this text box literally just says, if you have a single persist card in your deck, you win the game now. Congratulations. I hate it when a card just says, this combos with this other thing and sucks otherwise. This is very good, even if you ignore the persist stuff. Okay, we have Xian, Vengeful Samurai, a 3/3 with double strike. Costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on him. Okay. Ass? You're banned. Okay, we have Edgar, a 4 mana 2/4 ass. Once during each turn, you may cast an artifact from your graveyard. If you do, it ETBs tapped. On attack, get +X/+0, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. I think this guy has unfortunate potential as his own commander. Truly, I don't want to know what the Boros artifact players are going to do with this man. I know I don't like it. I know I don't like it, but I will accept it inside this precon. Gao, Feral Youth, a 2 mana 2/2, on attack at a 1/1 counter. At the beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, Gao deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Okay. General Leo Christoph, on ETB, return something with mana 3 or less, a creature with mana 3 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield, then put a +1/+1 counter on General Leo Christoph for each creature you control. Alright, like, please don't, obligatory, please don't make this man your commander. Who said commander potential? Because you are wrong. I think that in mono red, your ability to get stuff out of your graveyard at instant speed on each of your opponent's end steps is incredibly limited. Inside a Mardu shell, even a Grixis shell, or even like red plus anything, I would believe in your ability to trigger Gao everybody's end step. In mono red, that shit is not happening. Yeah, Jun too. That's why I said red plus anything. As soon as you give this man a single second color, as soon as you give him a second color or a third color, absolute potential by himself, he's just going bang, bang, bang. Go-Go, Mysterious Mime. He does have this shit on. A 4 mana 2/2. We're about to witness a felony. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have him become a copy of another target creature you control, except his name's Go-Go. If you do, Go-Go and that creature each get +2/+0 and gain haste until end of turn and attack this turn if able. So, breaks legendary rule, gives haste, and gives a slight buff. Alright, then we have Interceptor, Shadow's Hound, Menace. Assassins have Menace. Whenever you attack with legendaries, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Hey, look at that! More stuff for Dahada. Dahada has a pet dog now. I think that's good. It's solid to have ways for more ways for graveyard decks to use their graveyard as a hand to motivate more people to run graveyard hate. That's good and healthy for the world. This is a good boy. Kefka, Dancing Mat, 7 mana 6/6. During your turn, Kefka has Indestructible. Lord, give me patience. At the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Then each player who owns a spell you cast this way loses life equal to its mana value. Huh? I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted with this. I get to take your shit. I pay nothing. You pay life. Dog, that's not a commander. That's an FBI profile. They don't put that shit on Moxfield. They hand that to the judge when they're determining sentencing for you. Oh, I love this card. Alright, then we have Lock Treasure Hunter. Can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. On attack, everybody mills. If a land card was milled, make a treasure. Until end of turn, you may cast a spell from among those cards. That's actually really good. So we've gone from incredible funny top end to shockingly solid value engine. A 1/2 with lifelink. On end step, everybody may discard. Each player who discarded a card draws a card. If a creature card got discarded, make a 1/2 white Moogle. If a non-creature card was discarded, put a +1/+1 counter on each Moogle you control. Okay, very solid. With the context of what Kefka does, pretty fucked up. Why is this in the deck? So you can rob people. Sabine, Master Monk, 4/3 with double strike and blitz. You may, oh fuck, graveyard cast for blitz. I don't think that's good enough for standard, but oh my god, is this going to ruin some limited games? Oh my fucking god, am I going to be so mad playing against this thing in limited? Okay, then we have Seltzer, Wandering Gambler, also commander only. On ETB, create the Blackjack, a legendary 3/3 vehicle. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, flip a coin. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. Oh no. I don't know, Grixis coin flip, baby. Somebody's gonna make Grixis coin flips happen. This dude, definitely one of the cuts for this precon itself. This card just fucking goes. This is pure neuron activation for all the gamblers. All right, then we have Shadow, Mysterious Assassin, a 3/3 with Death Touch. On combat damage, you may sack something. If you do, draw 2. Each opponent loses life. Very good. Don't play him as a commander. Siegfried, Famed Swordsman. On ETB mill 3, then put X 1/1 counters on Siegfried, where X is twice the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Oh, X being twice is saving this dude. I think this dude's mid for like high bracket 3, bracket 4 behavior, but he's just a good body every single game. That matters. Dog, you put I do this every time. You put a Mesmeric Orb in this deck, this is like a 10/10 every time he comes down. Strago and Realm, a 3 mana 1/3. For 3 mana, force an opponent to exile cards until they hit an instant, sorcery, or creature. You get it for free. Creature spells this way get haste and sacrifice themselves on end step. This is not even me being like, for your sake. For my sake, please don't make this your commander. Please, God, this is so much better in the 99 as a million other things. It's very fair. Please don't make this your entire personality. Summon Esper Valagarmanda, a 3/3 with flying and haste. Exile stuff. Add a red for each lore counter. You may cast an instant or sorcery exiled with a saga and mana, and it's color fixed. Okay. For 3 turns in a fucking row? There's gotta be something that makes... I mean, hey, what about this, right? That's gotta be fucked up. The Warring Triad, a 3 mana 5/5 with flying, trample, and haste. As long as there are fewer than 8 cards in your graveyard, it's not a creature. Mill a card, target player adds 1 mana of any color. Fucked up, dude. Fucked up, dude. Oh my god, Milliken's fucking unemployed now. Yeah, 2 mana, get a colorless, or 2 mana, get any color, and you can politic with it. Alright, then we have Umaro, a 6 mana 6/6. Trample at beginning of combat. Choose one at random. Shit gets buff. I wheel, or I deal 5. We get to gamble a little bit. I love gambling. I love it when I don't know what's going to happen. We looked at these. Normal things. Wait, what's rejoin the fight? Okay, for 6 mana, mill 3. Then starting with the next opponent in turn order, each opponent chooses a creature card in your graveyard that hasn't been chosen. Return each card chosen this way to the battlefield under your control. Do not deserve this card, and yet I will be using it. Would be an awful, awful shame if I only had 3 incredibly good creatures in my graveyard, huh? Wouldn't it? It would be a terrible, terrible shame if in my Henzi deck I only had a Tali, Emrakul, and fucking Valgavoth in my graveyard. Wouldn't that be fucked up? Snort. For 4 mana, each player may discard their hand and draw 5. Snort deals 5 damage to each opponent who discarded their hand this way. They're giving out some tools for Group Slug. Alright, let's see how it goes. We got a mana rock, and our lands make colors. Hell yeah. And we got a Priest of Fell Rites. Turn 2, me when I ramp. Turn 3, I almost definitely play Terra. Phoenix down. I think we missed this one. To exile the artifact, I can recur something, or I can exile a skeleton, spirit, or zombie. That must be a flavor win, because this is fucking hater shit. Oh wait, no, we would have milled this and 1 more in combat. Oh boy. Oh, and we have Sun Titan in this fucking hand? Come on, bro. Alright, so we do this. We play a dog. We mill 2. I can swing, but I have nothing to recur. Next turn, I play this. I mill 2. Okay, we got a guy now. I mean, do I get my guy, or do I just go Sun Titan ETB, get my fucking Moogle? Like, I think that's what I do. And I'll discard this land. I'll draw a card. I get a 1/1 counter on my Moogle. I'm not going to try to guess what other people would do in this situation. I play a very bad mana rock, but it doesn't matter. I mill 2. Oh no. Give me this. Give me this under my fucking thing, man. I don't even care that I don't have 3 creatures. Give me my fucking Kefka, bro. And then we can drop this as well. And then we Sun Titan back a land. And then the next turn, so we have enough mana to replay this. We get Kefka back. This has been crazy slow because the first couple mills were so unfortunate. I think this is a deck that would benefit tremendously from throwing in a lot of the classics like Ripples of Undeath, because we just hit we hit lands and we hit instants and sorceries. It's once we get to do the thing is balling. It is taking us a tremendously large number of turns in which we had no interaction with the rest of the table. Like the other decks, we had at least a piece of removal, or we had a board wipe. This deck has just been fucking Beyblading in the corner, being like, don't worry guys, when I hit this kickflip, you are going to pog off. And then it's just us tripping over the skateboard. For Terra, do they play Magic? I will say probably yes. Do they have 10 cards that are easy to cut? Holy fuck yes. Can I deduce the plot of this game? I would guess the plot of that Final Fantasy game is a lot of people stand around looking extremely cool, and then Kefka fucks everything up. Where are we on that? Hell yeah. That's a bingo. Do these decks make me want to play Final Fantasy games? A bit, actually. Kefka fucks so hard, I actually kind of want to play that game. Do they have that shit on? Very much yes. Do they incentivize new players to play well? I actually think this deck does. I think that deck has a pretty healthy, grindy play pattern. I just think it's a bit variable because of how few mill engines they put in the decks right now. I do think it encourages you to keep playing because it has just enough gambling that you're gonna want to play the deck again. And now we will move on to what will almost certainly be my least favorite, Counter Blitz, the Bant Precon. Now I will be honest with you all, I do have pre-existing beef with Titus. My pre-existing beef with Titus is that I played Kingdom Hearts as a kid, and there's like a tutorial fight where you have to spar with Titus, and if you're bad at the game, he beats your ass, and he beat my ass unceremoniously in Kingdom Hearts, and I have never forgiven him. I have never forgiven this man. I got folded, dude. All right, Blitzball Stadium. X and a blue. On ETB, support X, so put a counter on each of up to X creatures. Go for the goal, 3 and a tap until end of turn. Target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. Draw a card for each kind of counter on it, and it's unblockable. And it's unblockable. Thank you. I'm glad this one's off to a good start. Go fuck yourselves. I cannot imagine that this doesn't go in every counter deck ever. Right? Like, the support X is honestly, who cares? There's like Simic, Bant, even if you did blue 1/1 counters, like so you get unblockable, minimum draws 1 card. Okay, then Everflowing Chalice and Soul Ring. I'm sure we won't be proliferating these. Creatures, Altered Ego. I like clones. I don't like Bant players having clones, but I like clones. Auron, Venerated Guardian. He does have that shit on. He's a 2/5 with Vigilance, and on attack, put a counter on him. When you do, exile a creature the defending player controls with less power than Auron until Auron leaves the battlefield. Yeah, man, that's fine, dog. I didn't want to block anyway. That's super cool, dog. Okay, Bane of Progress. I am legitimately pleased to see this in a Precon. We do need to be communicating to the Precon players that you should play big things that give you a big advantage. So I'm chill with that. Chasm Skulker, that is a cool art for it. Chocobo Knights, 4 mana, 3/3. Creatures with counters gain double strike. Yeah, I'm fine, man. Fathom Mage, I know. Yep. Why even have to try, man? Why even have to try? Nah, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. I just want to see one Bant deck that doesn't look like somebody having their diaper changed by a live-in nurse. Okay, a 3/3 that says at the beginning of combat, put a 1/1 counter on this guy and tap an opponent's creature, and then Kimari may become a copy. Yeah, I'm sure that copy thing will become very relevant and we're not just milking damage triggers. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature this turn, Love it. I love it. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on something, make a token, which has never ever put counters on anything else or been used for any type of fucked up synergies. Super perfect. Lulu, 2/3. Whenever an opponent attacks you, put a stun counter on their creature. That's not bad, and then of course we gave it a proliferate outlet, but it's expensive enough that that's not like the most fucked up thing ever. So this is creature propaganda-esque. Hey, Broodmoth, wow. I'm sure, what an incredibly inventive play pattern this deck has. Amazing. Maester Seymour, 3 mana, 1/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 1/1 counters equal to this guy's power on a different creature. What does Titus do again? Yeah, moves counters. Okay. Sure, that's fine. Oaka, Traveling Merchant. Remove a counter from a permanent you control. Draw a card. You know what? If there's one thing I knew about Bant, it's that they had a lot of trouble drawing cards. Riku, 2/3. Whenever you put one or more counters on a creature until end of turn, it can't be blocked. Excellent. Steal for 1 mana and tap. Steal a counter from an opponent's creature and put it onto something you control. I like that theft. I like stealing. This is the type of 1/1 counter behavior I wanted to see. This is hateful, it is spiteful, and oh my god, it is finally something a little bit different. 2/2 with lifelink. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature if its power is less than Shalinda's power. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on Shalinda. We get Evolve Plus. We're getting better Evolve now. And we're just right back to Yeah, we're just right back to this fucking sleep simulator. And then we have Sin, Unending Cataclysm, a 5/5 with Flying and Trample. On ETB, remove all counters from any number of stuff. It enters with twice that many 1/1 counters, and when it dies, put its counters on a creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. See, I actually like that. It is bullshit, but I think this is like the type of big fuck you finisher more Simic decks should be running, where they coalesce all of their counters into one big asshole. This is the type of like big flample finisher that I'm more okay with. Like at 7 CMC, we should be doing stuff like this, and exile removal is so easy nowadays. Like, exile removal is so easy to just non-bow this shit. Yeah, it hits opponents too, but honestly, if you're putting counters on your things, you deserve to be punished. Summon Ixion, a 3/3 with first strike. Exile something until this is gone. Put a counter on 2 creatures and gain life. Oh, we gotta gain life too, dog. Summon Mega Sisters, choose one at random. Put 3 counters on a creature. Put a shield counter on a creature and gain life, or fight something. Summon Valifor. Each opponent bounces their most expensive thing. Tap something, put a stun counter on it. Alright, I'm back in now. Summon Yojimbo. Exile an artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature. For 4 mana, that's quite reasonable. Until next turn, you get a propaganda effect. For 2 turns in a row, you get that. Last one is you make X treasures, where X is the number of opponents who control a creature with power 4 or greater. Incredibly solid. Incredibly solid. Oh, good, and you're here. I'm so happy. Alright. So even though we have not seen everything in the deck yet, this is my overall feeling on the Bant list. There are a great number of cool and fucked up tricky things you can do with like Oaka, with Sin, with Riku, and using them with sagas, using them with untraditional counters. And I think all of that flavor immediately killed by the Taco Bell diarrhea. That is, I play Fathom Mage, I play Chasm Skulker, I play this dumbass Selesnya Better Evolve, and then I play Titus, and then I win. Dislike this deck is just that it seems like it does the same thing every other Bant deck from the beginning of time has ever done. Unless you hit Temple of the False God in your opening hand. Nope. I'm gonna do this playtest where the deck doesn't work for me. This shit is for me, okay? I play Temple of the False God and do nothing else. Oh, God damn it. I'm making these motherfuckers hit the actual tutor targets. I'm not doing the land cheating I normally do. Bant has to do it honest. Fuck these people. Their Temple of the False God is live. I play these 2. I get to scry 1 because I played something that shared a creature type with Titus. I have minimum 3 counters on this guy. I have 6 mana available to me. I take a counter off this guy, I draw a card. I play these 2. I play fucking Sphere Grid. This guy has a bunch of counters on. On my upkeep, I will move them all to Titus. Titus is now unblockable. On combat, I will move 1 to Riku. Riku is now unblockable. I will tap Oaka to remove one of these to draw a card. I will swing with my 2 unblockable creatures. I will swing them at different players. Oh no, it's only once each turn. I will swing them. They will each get additional 1/1 counters and have reach and trample. I will proliferate. I will also draw a card. I will play a land for turn, and I hold up fucking I play this and I hold up counter magic. Next turn, I repeat that whole fucking deal. with however many spells people cast into my Forgotten Ancient. I play Fathom Mage. I get to draw a card when I enter combat and move a counter onto Fathom Mage. I take one off of her to draw another card. I hit with my unblockable creatures who get 1/1 counters on them. I proliferate everything and I draw another card. If at any point I'm unhappy with how this is going, between the counter magic I am holding up, I will simply board wipe everybody. Amazing. I think this is the full review of the Titus deck. Check it out, guys. Aren't I so great at fighting? Do they play Magic? Too goddamn much. Do they have 10 cards that are easy to cut so you can feel smart? Yes, yes, yes. Can I deduce the entire plot of the Final Fantasy game? Okay, what do I think this Final Fantasy game is about? Yuna and Titus go to college and break up. Where we at? I see nailed it and nope at the same time. I see half people who went like absolutely yes, and then a bunch of people who are like 100% incorrect. Let's rank them. I think number 1, ranking by power or fun. I think those two things are connected. I think we will be ranking the precons by, we will do one ranking for as is, and we will do another ranking for how much do I want to play the upgraded version. I think ranking the precons as is, I really want to like the Esper deck, but it feels so fucking confused, dog. It's up between Mardu and Esper for me on number 1 as is. I think it's the Mardu deck just off of Kefka. Number 2 then has to be Esper. Number 3 is Naya. And that means number 4, unfortunately, 99 lands. And then number 5 is going to be that Bamp Precon. Precons on desire to upgrade them. Really the important distinction is, does this change? Or is this just the exact same? I think it does change. I think number 1 is still Mardu. I don't think Esper becomes number 1. Unfortunately, Kefka carry again. It's really like my desire to make a Kefka deck is going to keep making me play that Mardu deck. I think number 2 is Esper, but it's closer. I think what changes is Bant moves up to number 3. I think there is at least something that I could be interested in happening in that Bant deck if it was not such just straightforward 1/1 counter pig feed. But I don't think the precon as is has it. But I think this is like massive overhaul. And then I think number 4 becomes Naya just because I'm not an equipment player. And I don't hate on equipment like I hate on Bant, but equipment, just like the play patterns, just fundamentally do not interest me. Oh yeah, and then a deck of 99 lands. Deck of 99 lands is going to be 5th.